today, I'm joined today with LaQuitha Williams, our top real estate agent in Memphis. I'm so happy that you're here with us. She works for Cry Light, and I'll let you tell them some things in just a minute. But LaQuitha, today I've got to tell you, girl, yes, to what's in this cup.
Oh, yes. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm drinking some yerba mate and hibiscus tea.
Okay.
And it is so smooth and fruity and nourishing. It's really energizing and good for a morning because it's revitalizing. It does have caffeine in it. So for those people who drink tea for the caffeine, yerba mate is a really good choice. So what are you drinking today?
Well, again, good morning, and thank you so much for having me. It's definitely an absolute pleasure to be here with you this morning. So thank you. And I definitely want to try some of that tea. So I'm coming to some of that.
Amazing.
But this morning, well, what little bit I have left is in my cup is an acai berry pomegranate, ginger turmeric, immune booster, herbal tea, all mixed together. I took like 3 teas and mixed it in one with some honey and some lemon juice. Just to keep my immune system strong and healthy, you know, with everything that's going on. So this is what little bit I have left in my own personal cup, as you can see.
And I love that.
Yes, but I definitely
give those out.
I do. I give those out to my clients who really love them, because you can pour extreme hot liquids like tea and coffee in them. It's dishwasher safe. So yeah, I mean, you could just take the hottest liquid and pour in it. So yes.
Nice. I love that. See how innovative she is, everybody. Yeah, that's perfect straw.
So yes. Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love that. Okay, so now I knew you before you were a real estate agent, and yes. I'm proud to say that.
Yes.
But I want to ask you, what drove you to go get your real estate license? I mean, and you're doing such an excellent job with it. So tell us about that.
Thank you. So as you know, I've been in the sales industry for many years, almost about 20, 25 years. Everything from broadcast, TV, radio, print, and education, as well as retail. And so I really have a passion for helping individuals. And I often found myself that no matter what field or industry I was in, I was always educating and teaching people, which is something that I absolutely, truly love to do. And I was actually kind of recruited to come into real estate because of my passion and my experience and my expertise. And because my passion is true for helping people, this was an opportunity for me to really take the time to educate individual and people about the home buying process as well as selling, because so many of us get into contracts and things that we don't understand, and we're often just signing our name on paperwork, and we have no idea what we've signed or what we've given away or what we've had taken away. There's just a lot of things that we don't understand. So I made it my goal, my passion, my journey to teach and educate, especially specifically buyers. I teach sellers as well, but I really enjoy educating buyers. With my buyers, I sit down with them and I teach them every page of the contract. Mm-hmm. I give them that contract before they sign anything. We sit down together if they have the time at my office, and we go over each page and read it together. I tell them to highlight anything they don't understand. Mm-hmm. If they don't have the time to sit down with me, I let them take it home. I say, you go home, this is your homework assignment. You read every single page. You highlight in yellow what you don't understand, and you make a list of questions. Then we come back together and we sit down and we go over the things that they don't understand. And we go over each page of the contract. So when it's time for the process to begin, because it's such a time of the essence type situation, we have to move like this. I need them to be able to sign and go and know what they're signing and understand the whole process, because when you understand something, you feel better about the decision you made. And that's such a major decision that an individual makes.
Yes, it's one of the largest buying things that we do
It's a
as
dream.
people. It's a dream.
You know,
Yes.
you have a
Yes.
home, to own a home ownership. It's a dream that many even think that they can't even become a homeowner, and they will be surprised to know that they can.
I love that you said that, and that you treat your buyers and sellers with, equally with respect, but how you hone into the need of the buyers, because you know that sellers are they have to do a certain amount of homework to put their house on the market, or whatever, real estate that they're selling on the market. But to take the time out to be compassionate and understanding and patient with those buyers who are needing that time, and they need somebody to help them understand the
Absolutely.
process.
Absolutely.
Because it's just like, when you were talking, I was thinking about raising, my children. And, when you think about every area or every decade of their life, in their 20s and their 30s, they've never been there before, but they still need somebody to kind of help guide them along and let them know some experiences. So that's priceless, to have an agent like that.
Right. And I even think back to when my husband and I, we first purchased our home, which we were in our 20s. We were like the millennials of today. And there was just so much looking back that we didn't know, and didn't know that we didn't know, and wasn't told to talk to us. And I'll give you a prime example, like when we received our first escrow check back. We received a refund, and we didn't know to send that back in. We spent it.
So
we
what does that
we got
mean?
money coming back, so.
Okay, so when you have an escrow check, why would you get one? Can you explain that?
Because there's money left over. So when the companies, the mortgage company, when they analyze what your taxes and insurance and things are going to be, sometimes they analyze high, which is good. And so you have an excess of funds that comes back to you, but you should take that money, send it back in, and put it back into the pot, into the kitty. So when they analyze again, in case there's a shortage, there's that money there to help cover that. Because as the taxes increase, so will your mortgage.
Okay.
And so you need that extra money in case there is a shortage.
Okay. All right.
And so if you do what we did in the instance, we spent it, our mortgage increased, and we didn't understand why. And there were a couple of things. The taxes had increased, and there was they analyzed a little bit less than what they should have. But had we sent this money back in, we would have been okay.
Okay, I see.
Yes.
So that money can go toward paying the mortgage of the house.
Yes, towards the taxes, the insurance, and things like that. Yes.
Yes. Exactly. And you're still spending it because you're investing it.
You're investing it, which is what home ownership is. It's an investment.
It's an investment. It is the biggest investment that I guess that the common person will make in a lifetime.
Exactly. And it's a worthy investment because it's right. It's yours. You can paint it whatever color you want, unless you're in a homeowners association. But
OMG. Okay, I'm sorry.
That you can't do in an apartment or a rental that you can do in your own home. But on the flip side, with homeowner associations, in the beginning, I didn't quite understand them, but now I do, and I appreciate them. But that's another topic. So
yeah.
That's another
you do grow to appreciate them. You really do.
Yes.
Yeah. And once you get over,
the initial
impact of having to do.
Exactly. There's a reason to all of that.
I want my money.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so that's that's a part of growth, and a lot of times we don't have anybody to that knows or is knowledgeable. So
Right.
once again, going back to how compassionate that shows that you are as an agent, and I appreciate that part about you, to make sure that you're educating. And like you said, you were an educator, and you still are. You just have honed in on one topic.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
as you educate people, and help them be more comfortable and
Aware.
confident about what
Yeah.
they're doing as
Um,
they learn and become educated on
and that's the perfect way to describe it, aware and comfortable and confident in their decision, because some it's such a big decision. They're like, oh my gosh, did I, they panic and they sometimes have remorse. And that's my goal, is to help remove the remorse. And then to something right quick, I'm a big history person, and in the history lessons, we kind of learn how a lot of our ancestors lost a lot of their land
it.
that they once owned, because they couldn't afford to pay the taxes, and because of paperwork and things like that they signed. That's another reason too,
Mm-hmm.
that I like to educate. And then again, because we have a lot of companies wanting us to do all types of loans, to help us, refinance or do this or do that. You need to understand what you're signing. You
Mm-hmm.
need to know and have a full understanding of what you're signing.
Right. So you mentioned the word refinancing. So when is a good time as a homeowner, if going through all that initial business of buying a home, if we would consider refinancing, what should be some of the signs that you would be a good candidate for refinancing?
I'll have to be completely honest with you. I'm not very versed in refinancing, so that's a category I am going to actually working on, um, becoming more knowledgeable about. So I don't want to speak to or answer to something that I don't truly know or understand. So I can't 100% speak to refinancing. So I'm going to pause that question.
Okay,
Um,
table it.
but I will say that something that we do teach our new homeowners is, if you add an additional $10, $20 a month to your mortgage,
Mm,
you can basically cut your payments and what you owe in the future down. You reduce the amount of years that you owe on your loan. If you pay an extra note once or twice a year,
mm-hmm.
you can reduce the number of years that you owe on that mortgage.
Right, right. Okay. And even just if you have an extra $50 a month to
Anything that
just
you have extra to apply
toss it
for.
at that bill, toss it at that mortgage bill or that.
And the same thing with cars. I know we're not talking about cars, but the same thing with cars. If you put an extra $37.59 a month
Mhm.
towards your car payment and principal, you're knocking it down like that, to where instead of, you say you finance it 72 months, now you're down to 24 months, because you're making that extra every month, or you're making that extra note
Mhm.
once or twice a year. And people
Right.
don't realize that.
Yeah. It's just something to stop and think and about budgeting, because I have to make myself sit down and really write down what it is that I'm doing. I'm terrible at that. I don't do it like I'm supposed to. I don't.
Yeah.
But I do realize how important it is to budget and
Mhm.
make sure that you have, what you need, and that you're not overspending,
That you're living beyond your means.
beyond your
Exactly.
means. Exactly. So that's a learning process for us,
Mhm.
our for me, in my family, we've been very successful in homeowners, and I just wanted to say that but growing up, the conversations were not about how to buy a house
You
and
weren't there.
how to save your money or
Right.
invest your money. It wasn't there because the education of it wasn't there.
Exactly.
So I think this era that we're embarking on right now is the perfect time, and I've never seen so many young people talking about making investments and how
Oh, I
to
love it.
change their life and change their legacy for their families.
Yes.
Investments are life changing. So
Yes. And it's
I want to
funny
ask
that you
you.
said that. I'm sorry, go ahead. I was
Oh,
gonna say because a lot of millennials are really like home buyers right now, and I love that. But go ahead.
yeah. Okay. So the housing market today during COVID, tell us what that's like.
Oh wow, you'd be amazed. COVID has not stopped the housing market.
Okay.
It's actually still going pretty strong, against all odds, and surprisingly, and I kind of follow different groups on social media, and they of realtors, and they talk about their markets, and it's the same pretty much everywhere. We're in a seller's market where we
Okay.
have more buyers and not enough inventory. So the
Mm,
market is still going pretty strong, but um, a lot of the programs that was available pre COVID-19, a lot of
mhm,
those programs went away. Some are slowly but surely coming back.
mhm.
So there are some new programs out there, but they do have much tighter and stricter guidelines and regulations and things like that. But there are some new programs that have come back since the pandemic.
Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to share a screen with you, and of course I had to get out of my page, but I'm going to show your information.
Okay.
So while I'm pulling that up to cue the information, tell us about your first home selling experience.
It's funny you asked that. My very first was with a millennial.
Oh, really?
Yes, with a 28-year-old young man, and
Okay.
he and his wife already owned a home, but he
Okay.
wanted an investment home, and
Okay.
he purchased in one of our lower income neighborhoods. As
Uh-huh.
you know, there's a drive for a lot of us to purchase within our own neighborhoods.
Yes.
So he did that. He purchased that, and and remodeled and renovated the home. But the funny thing with that with him is that he had that buyer's remorse on closing day.
Really? What? Okay, explain what that means.
Which part? Buyer's remorse?
Buyer's remorse.
He got cold feet.
Okay. Oh,
He
wow.
got he got cold feet.
So what
When you because you're making such a large investment,
happened? Mm-hmm.
and you panic. And so his wife and I had to sit down and have a long conversation with him and said, look, this is something you wanted to do. You wanted to buy in the neighborhood. You wanted to create a home for people who couldn't at the time afford a home, could rent from you,
Mm-hmm.
and do so feasibly. Like, you wanted to give back to the community and the neighborhood. So, you know, let's do this. And so he listened to us. We closed,
Okay.
and he comes back. He stays in touch with me, and he tell me that's the best decision that he ever made, and he really appreciates me and his wife, pushing him on to do it.
Right,
And he's
right.
from that referred me to so many people. Like, majority of my clients and my business is referral.
Okay.
Of course, it starts with people that I know, and he was someone that I already knew.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he saw me post my real estate information and reached out to me. But after the people that I already know and they go through an experience with me, they refer me to other people. So a lot of my business is referral.
Okay. Okay. So when we contact you,
Mhm.
well, before we get to the contact information, I'm just letting everybody see this flyer that will be posted under the comment section
Okay.
or in the comment section of my YouTube channel.
Okay.
You'll see this contact information or the flyer. Tell us
Hmm.
about this flyer and what this is. A City of Memphis down payment assistance for teachers program. Tell us about that
Yeah.
program.
So this program is with Community Mortgage. It's a down payment assistance program, and it's specifically for Memphis City teachers, Memphis City school teachers, but they have to be a Shelby County school classroom, because you guys are now Shelby County instead of Memphis, but you have to be a Shelby County school classroom K through 12 teacher.
Okay.
You must be employed at least 2 years.
Okay.
The property must be within the city of Memphis city limits. The maximum that the teachers can purchase up to is $254,000. They do have to come to the table with 1% of the sales price. So whatever sales price of the home is, they need at least 1% of that. And it takes Community Mortgage, along with the city of Memphis, about 45 plus or minus days to close. But paperwork, like I was telling you, since COVID-19, there are some tighter guidelines and restrictions and red tape and things like that, that they'll have to go through. But the closing timetable is 45 plus or minus days. There's no income restriction, but the program will run out of funds in a few months. So if this is something that, some teachers are interested in, then they definitely need to reach out. And actually, with this flyer, they can click on the Apply Now button right underneath Loan Officer Jeremy Holiday.
Okay, I'm going to click on that.
Apply Now button. Right, it'll take them directly to his page. And it'll ask who referred you. And of course, you're going to put LaQuitha Williams. And then you click next, and it'll tell you all the information that you need.
Okay.
In order to complete the loan application, which, let me back up a little bit. In order to become a homeowner, in case you're wondering, one of the very first steps and things you have to know are your credit scores. And you have 3 credit scores. And out of those 3 credit scores, the lenders go with the middle score. So with this particular program with Community Mortgage, your credit score, your middle score, has to be at least minimum 640.
Okay.
Has to be a 640 or higher.
Okay.
If you're 640, you're okay. And once you know your credit scores, which some people don't know, some do because they go on to some of the apps like the Chase, the Capital One, and things like that. Let me say this, those apps help, but they're not 100% correct.
Okay.
Because
how
the
do we
bank
get the most accurate scores?
Applying through the loan officers, who's going to pull your absolute score, because the lenders have access to more than what those apps do.
Okay.
Or by reaching out to the credit bureau. I think they charge for that to receive. They'll give you your credit report, but not your scores. I think to get your scores, you have to pay an additional fee.
Okay.
But I think the easiest way is to just go through a loan officer by applying for the loan. I will say, don't just go into every loan officer, because every time you do that, that's a hard inquiry. And that's what you don't want. You don't want more than 1 or 2 inquiries on your credit report total, period, for any reason.
Is that within a certain span of time?
Yes, but period. For the yearly.
For the duration of your credit score.
Right. Every year you want less than 2 inquiries, 2 or less inquiries on your credit report.
Okay.
Because hard inquiries do count for a large percentage, as well as credit utilization, as well as collections and late payments.
Okay. All right.
And that's
I know one thing I've gone through. My husband and my credit scores, I went through and froze all of our credit scores. So I just wonder if that's something that you would suggest people can do, because it keeps all those little inquiries from happening when you freeze your credit score. Is that something that you could suggest for possible buyers to think about?
I think that's a great idea. That's something that I did as well, Tanya, but I have to stay in my lane. I'm a realtor, not a lender, so I have to really allow the lenders and their expertise to speak to things like that to the clients. So, I could suggest it, but I can't advise them on that, because again, I'm just a realtor, and so my lane is advising them on anything strictly dealing with the real estate and not the loan portion. We can talk and have conversations, but again, I can't advise them on it.
Gotcha.
But the lender may tell them, give them some advice on things like that to do. And that's what Jeremy is really, really good at. And he's, like myself, he's very passionate about helping individuals understanding their credit, the do's and don'ts, what it's going to take to help them qualify. things about credit utilization. And for those that don't know what that means, is that you have a certain amount of credit available, but you don't want to utilize it fully at 100%. You're going to need your credit utilization to be able to qualify for some of these loans at 40%, 45% or less. Again, but that's an area that the lenders will have to speak to and advise you on.
Okay, good. And it is good to talk to these people who have the expertise in the area that you need advice in, because they can really give you some really good tips to follow to help you with your credit score and any other area. You talk to the professionals and they will help you and guide you into some and guide you into some
attorneys
good advice.
advise, and you speak to an attorney about certain things. That's what lenders advise, and you speak to a lender about certain things, and that's what realtors advise, and you speak to us realtors about certain things. So definitely speak to the person in that profession.
Yes.
You know,
and that's a good thing too with being in a certain profession, because you're going to be linked somehow to another profession, and it's good to keep the networking going that way.
Absolutely.
So when you can always rely on one person that you definitely know in that field of expertise, it's good to give them a shout out, or keep the networking going, as far as, especially when you are a entrepreneur, local business owners, all those people should have their own little network of friends and family that they can send you to. Exactly.
Because if your realtor and your loan officer has a really good relationship, that's a benefit for you as a buyer.
Absolutely.
As well as the attorney, because that means that we're all working together to help the client.
Absolutely. And you put into that relationship and that service like you do that relationship. So that's why that's a really good thing to do, is to keep your network
Absolutely. Strong. And something, if I don't know something, I'm going to tell you up front, you know what, I don't know, but let me research.
And I love that about you. I love that about you, because that sends people where they need to be. Yeah. That's like, I respect your time. Time is
of the essence.
Yeah, it is of the essence. It is.
Yes.
Okay, so here I have up your loan application. Of course, I did put your name in. And so just so people can see how the process goes, it'll still link them. It keeps sending them to the next page so that they can fill out their loan application.
Right. So, and once they speak with Jeremy, so the very next step is, after you contact the loan officer and they're going to tell you everything. Jeremy will tell you everything that you need.
Okay.
Once you get them everything that they need, they'll put you through an underwriting system. And if everything qualifies, then they'll provide you with a pre-approval letter. Some even go as far as to not only just pre-qualifying, but pre-approving.
Oh,
like
okay.
You through underwriting the whole way versus waiting to the end. And so that's a good thing too. But most of the time, they do a pre-qualified letter. You cannot make an offer on a home in today's time and market without a pre-qualification letter. So once you've been pre-qualified, the lender sends a copy of that letter to you and to me.
Okay.
And then I set you up in my system based on the conversation that we have of zip codes that you'd like to live in, the type of home that you're looking for. And so my system automatically sends out homes to you that have been put into the system that are available for sale. And then you'll contact me and say, hey, LaQuitha, I'd like to go see this home. I'm really interested in this one. So I'll set it up. We go out, we view the home. If you like it and you want to make an offer on it, then I'll write up the contract and submit the offer on your behalf.
Oh, perfect.
And that's, again, during their initial with me, I sit down and I discuss all of this with them. And I walk with them every step of the way through the process. I hold their hand the entire time.
Yeah.
There's never not a time where they don't know what's next in this process. They know what to expect.
Yes. I respect you so much for that, because I mean, it's common courtesy too, And especially when you know it's their first time buying too.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
And I treat people the way I want to be treated, seriously.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Hmm.
That is the golden rule.
Yes, yes.
It is. It really is. Okay, so now there's something else that you've added to your myriad of talents. You are now a notary public. Is that right?
Yes, I am now a
Oh,
notary agent.
oh my goodness. Okay, so is this a mobile service? Because
Yes, I will travel to you. I'm a certified notary. So a lot of companies now reach out to me to do notaries as well. And actually, when I'm finished with you, I have to leave and go and do a notary. So
okay.
yes, yes. So I guess my background is educator, marketing executive,
Hmm.
um, makeup artist, and photographer,
Yeah,
realtor,
don't leave that out.
notary, yes, because photography is my passion. So, yeah,
That is super, girl. I'm so proud of you and so very happy to know you and call you family.
thank
Uh,
you.
Thank you again so much for talking with me today. I do want to leave everybody with your information. So, how can we find you? And of course, all this information will be linked in the comment section below. You'll be able to go to that loan application, that flyer. You're going to click on the apply now link. All that information will be available, but I just would like for you to, tell us about your website and any telephone numbers that we can make a note of. And yeah, so how do we contact you?
Absolutely. Yes. So, again, as Tanya stated, my name is LaQuitha Williams. I'm with Crowlike Realtors. My office is located at 6705 Winchester. I'm in the Southeast, and that's at the corner of Winchester and Ross Road. My phone number is 901 654 8729. And my website, and I know I'm saying all this really fast, and it will be
It's
available
okay.
for you
Yes, it'll be
to get
available.
it, but my website is LaQuitha Welcomes You Home dot cry dash like.com. That's
Okay.
LaQuitha Welcomes You Home dot cry dash like.com. And when you get to my website, my information again is there. You can click to email me, and it'll email me automatically. You'll be able to phone me. If you're on your mobile phone, you can click on my number and it'll dial me. There you can read testimonies that past clients have taken the time to come back and write about their experience with me, which I'm really humbled and truly appreciate that because they don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Um, but my information is readily available on Google, on social media. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. Um, I'm out there. You'll
Yeah.
definitely find me. And again, you can find me on Tanya's page. And Tanya, I so appreciate you. I love you.
Thank
You
you.
are the best. Like, really, thank you.
I appreciate you. Have a wonderful day. Go notary
Mwah.
publicize somebody.
Everyone have a blessed day. Bye bye.
Bye.